Hey, what's going on, y'all? Another day, another nursing home. I got an interesting lesson today. Crazy. Today's lesson is what happens to the tough guy later in life. Now, to understand where I'm coming from, first you got to understand a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Northeast Baltimore City. Lived all over Baltimore, North Baltimore, East Baltimore, West Baltimore. I lived all parts of Baltimore. Very, very crime ridden. You can call it the hood. You can call it, I think it's listed as one of the worst cities to live in on all the major lists. It's up there. It's up there. Baltimore City, when it comes to crime, when it comes to drugs, things like that. And in Baltimore City, you'll find a lot of tough guys. Tough guys, whether you want to call them tough guys or want to be tough guys, you'll find a lot of tough guys in Baltimore City. Okay? Let's just start there. And in my experience growing up in Baltimore, I left when I was about 23. I'm 43 right now. I got out of Baltimore. I left Baltimore, moved to Delaware. Now, I knew a lot of tough guys. I knew a lot of, you can call them thugs, gangsters, drug dealers, whatever you want to call them. I knew a lot of them. A lot of them were my acquaintances from growing up. Now, in my experience, my personal experience when it comes to tough guys I knew or know. Notice I say knew or know. In my experience, tough guys, either the majority of them dead or in jail. Those who aren't, many of them had like a turnaround point, and a turnaround point usually involves like maybe having a child or meeting the love of their life, a woman, when they turn things around later on as they mature, which is a good thing because that's what you want to see. You want to see that turnaround point. And those who don't turn around, those who are still out there trying to live that life and haven't been caught up in jail or been killed yet, it usually doesn't end well for them. At some point it catches up to them. Now, what I want to talk about today is the late stage tough guy. I want to talk about the older tough guy. I'm talking about the person who actually makes it without dying, without getting killed, without ending up in jail, without dying from drugs or alcoholism. I want to talk about that person today because we currently have one. And I've met this person. I've met a lot of these types of people. The wannabe tough guy, the guy who used to run the streets, the guy who used to have all the ladies, the guy who used to sell all the drugs, do all the drugs, drink all the alcohol, ripping and running, who, thought he was all of that, thought he was invincible. I want to talk about that person. We have one today. Let's call him Mr. B. Mr. B is a bilateral amputee, meaning he has no legs. He is wheelchair bound. He has no legs. He has no legs from the top of the knee down. Uncontrolled diabetes, heart disease, a lot of stuff caught up with him. He had to have both legs amputated. Mr. B is a wannabe. I'm not going to say a wannabe. Let's call him a tough guy. He's a tough guy. Talks about his previous life, what he used to do, who he used to beat up, who he used to shoot, what he used to do in the streets, all the women he had, all the money he had, all of the cars and things like that. He's still living in the past. But when I'm going to tell you what happens to this person later on in life, it's interesting when you watch it unfold. Later on in life, this person usually still tries to hang on to these accolades that they think they once had, the name that they had in the streets, the things they used to do, and they think it's supposed to translate to wherever they go, even the nursing home. Like this guy's in the nursing home cussing everybody out, talking about he's going to get out of there, get out of the nursing home. He's been in probably 3 different nursing homes. He actually was in another one that I work at, and they hated him there because he was so just obnoxious, just rude, disrespectful, cussing people out left and right. And then he came to this nursing home, but he actually busted out. Like he actually got out, went home, but ended up back in the hospital. Not sure why, but ended up back in the hospital, and the hospital sent him back to this nursing home. He is on his second stay here, and he is just as mad can be. He is cussing everybody out, from other patients to the nurses, to the administrator, talking about how he wants to leave, but I don't know why they accepted him back, because they shouldn't have. But I've met so many versions of this person. Later on in life, this person usually has a lot of health issues, because remember, they were tough. They were invincible. They never really thought about their future selves. They did what they want, smoked what they wanted, put into their bodies whatever they wanted, because they were tough. They did what they want. But usually they end up with things like diabetes, heart disease, COPD from all of the smoking, wounds, big gaping wounds on their butts, on their heels, getting their feet chopped off, toes amputated, legs amputated, fingers amputated. I've met this tough guy so many times. I've met so many versions of this tough guy. They're usually frustrated because they still think they're supposed to command things like they did in the streets. They still think that people are supposed to, show them respect. They still think people are supposed to, bow down to them a little bit. Still think people are supposed to do what they say. They like to threaten people. They like to act as if they run the place when they go into a new place. And we're seeing that with this gentleman here. For a tough guy later on in life, it's a lonely world for him. It's a very, very lonely world. You know why? Because all throughout your tough guy life, you disrespected people. People who were family, you've cut them off or they've cut you off. Children you have don't rock with you no more. You don't get visitors. You don't get cards. You don't get phone calls. It's like you're on an island, the island that you created. And you can see it. And they still try to project the toughness, even with no legs, even in wheelchairs. They still try to project the toughness, but everybody sees right through it. Everybody sees right through it. Usually the facility can't stand you. Usually they can't wait till you leave, or they try to make you leave. Usually there's a lot of tension. Usually the aides, the nurses try to avoid you because they don't want to deal with you. Now remember, I'm talking about the tough guy. I'm not talking about the guy who maybe used to run the streets and was a cool cat. I know a lot of those guys too. I got one right now that's really cool. The guys who used to rip and run the streets, who were cool, who still had a measure of respect for people. I meet a lot of them. Usually those guys do pretty good. I mean, they still usually suffer from the health issues because they did a lot of drugs back in the day, a lot of alcoholism, cigarettes, and things like that. So they still typically suffer from the health issues. But for the most part, they can laugh and joke with the aides and nurses. They probably flirt with the aides and nurses a lot, but they can still, be the cool guy at the nursing home, and everybody knows them. These guys are, rolling around listening to music. You've got radios in their wheelchair. They like to hang out. They like to go to bingo. They like to make people laugh. People laugh at them. These people still get visitors. These people, for the most part, took care of their children. Their children still call and from time to time come and see them. Not a lot, but from time to time come to visit them. But the tough guy, the wannabe tough guy, like tough, still talking about what he gonna do to people and who he gonna call and what he used to do in the streets and all that. That guy, everybody hates that guy. Trust me, everybody hates that guy. That guy gets like the bare minimum of treatment because nobody wants to be around him. He's obnoxious. He's cussing people out. He's very, very disrespectful. Every now and then they'll meet an aide or a therapist like myself, like Mr. B and I, we're okay. He'll give me a pound when I walk by, but I'll walk by and he'll just start cussing people out for no reason. He likes to sit at the nurse's desk talking about he wants to leave, trying to break out of here. He actually has prosthetic legs. Listen to this. He has 2 prosthetic legs for his amputated legs. He has 2 prosthetics, meaning he has 2 fake legs that he can actually use. Do you know the facility won't let him have them? Why? Why won't the facility let that man use his prosthetic legs? They are afraid he'll use them as weapons. This was what was reported to me yesterday. They are afraid the man will use them as weapons because he's been so aggressive to the aides and the nurses. They won't even give him his legs. The This is what happens when you're a tough guy. This is what happens when you're a wannabe tough guy. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. So if you're out there, if you watch this, man, if you out there, if you know somebody who's ripping and running the streets, living that life, doing all the drugs, drinking all the alcohol, gunplay, drug play, whatever it is, trust me, if they don't end up dead or in jail, which is usually what happens, if they don't end up one of those two scenarios, the end result, even if you make it, the end result is not pretty, man. The end result is bad because nobody wants to be around you. Your quote unquote loved ones don't got no love for you. They ain't coming to see you. They not sending you cards. They not sending you gifts. They not even calling you. You're on an island, man. You're alone. And you think you're not alone. But trust me, you are. Whoo, man. Oh, it's a crazy day. Oh, man. My man was cussing everybody out just for no reason. They ain't there trying to play bingo. He up there cussing at another patient, another resident there. Just for no reason. Calling ladies bees. Just, it's crazy, man. Trust me, yo, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. That tough guy life, it's just not worth it. Whoo, man. Crazy day, but hey, man, I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. So, moral of the story is, it's not worth being a tough guy. If you don't end up dead or in jail, the end of your life is going to be very miserable. The end of your life is going to be riddled with disease. The end of your life is going to be very lonely. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. All right. So that's my lesson of the day. What happens to the tough guy later in life? There you have it, folks. All right. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to ask. I got lessons for days, man. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm sure something interesting will happen tomorrow, and I'm going to have this camera ready to talk about. So I'm going to holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all be cool.